much to the Comic News, episode 177. I am one of your hosts, Chris, alongside, not live, but live from DC Fandome, Mike.
Dude, okay, just really quick about the whole DC Fandome. When I logged in yesterday, I was like, oh, they're gonna release merchandise, blah blah blah, and I'm like, okay, let me check out this cool merchandise. I could not bring myself to buy a shirt that says Fandome. I was like, I can't wear a shirt that says Fandome. I was just like, I can't do it.
Hey, come to my Fandome.
Hey, you want to go Fandome? It's like a Jersey Shore thing. I don't know, but like, either way, wow. The last 24 hours has been a complete treat. I will tell you, I thought we were getting stuff, getting news, and then okay, it's done for the night. Oh my god, something else. Oh my god, something else. So we have a lot to talk about. No, there's no interview today. We're interviewing each other and our reactions to DC Fandome, and I feel like you know what I think of when I say Fandome? I think of like one of the stereotypical like goons from the Batman the animated series, like Matches Malone or something. Like, hey, Fandome, man, Matches Malone, hey.
Yeah, my favorite being the Jazz Man.
The Jazz Man. Man, what? Okay, we got so much news to get through. I know we're gonna talk about all this crap. I mean, and we got video game news too. It was a great day for DC Comics fans. Hey, and there's some Marvel news in there a little bit. Yeah. So I guess we'll just jump right into it. I don't know if you want to, if you got any stories to tell. I think we'll just jump right into it.
I'll throw one thing out there. Everybody remember, if you want to get your DRM free copy of Battle Monsters, go to Drive Through Comics. That's all I'll say. But yeah, keeping up with Fandome was ridiculous.
Oh yeah,
especially since I now work weekends. So
oh yeah, like I had stuff to do this weekend, but the content in between the trailer releases was so good too. Like, I mean, they were interviewing Neil Gaiman about the new Sandman audiobook and stuff, and the amount of voice actors and stuff they put into the book. I think Andy Serkis was involved too with that book. And like real actors being voice actors. I mean, just the interviews and the content they were talking. I mean, they're talking about like Neil Gaiman and how like writing Sandman, and did he think it was going to be such an epic to this day, and then they were interviewing like Venus Williams talking about like New Gods, and they had Patty Jenkins, and they had the segment with the director of the Suicide Squad, James Gunn. That segment was ridiculous, and the fan questions. It was just so much good content.
Yeah, I would like to see Marvel do something like this too for like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, because right. I mean, at the end of the day, like, yeah, there was a couple of video game stuff, and there was like one big comic announcement, but
right.
This was really about the cinematic stuff. And I would like to see Marvel do something like this too, because I just think one day or a chunk of time all about what's coming and like how we're going to build these worlds was really cool. Really good idea.
And the fact that they put this together in the last, they couldn't have had this idea until like March when COVID hit, right? So obviously this was stuff that was going to be coming out at Comic-Con either in October or...
Yeah, so it was... The video game stuff obviously would have come out in July.
Right.
With E3 that got canceled. And then I think the rest of it was slated for San Diego. So like all of it was there.
Yeah, but the coordination and like...
Yeah.
Getting... I guess maybe some people have some free time on their hands, but anyways, let's just jump into it. TV, as far as TV news goes, they had a lot of discussions about like the Flash TV show and Batwoman. I think they had the Batwoman cast together.
Yeah, right? We both kind of fell off CW and like everything they're doing. So I didn't even watch the Flash trailer.
Right.
It's like, yeah, he runs fast. I get it.
Yeah. Yeah, and honestly, the segment they did. We're talking about TV. We'll talk about movies. We got a lot of movies to talk about. So season 3 of Titans has added some new characters to the show. We got Barbara Gordon and Scarecrow joining the growing list of characters for next season. And Corinne Walters, who's currently playing Robin, will become Red Hood. So they're starting to move things along. Titans was fun, and I just gotta catch up on the second season. I'm glad they're still doing things with it.
Yeah, this got me kind of in the mood to watch it. I haven't had much to watch. I've been going back and watching stuff that I've watched before.
Yep.
And I read this and was kind of like, oh, yeah, Titans. I liked what I watched of it.
Right. I just fell off.
Yeah. The whole DC Universe thing was weird, and all the shows, with the exception of Swamp Thing, I fell off of real quick just because, I don't know, it just wasn't my normal streaming service.
Yeah, right. So I'm glad to see they're still going along with that. I just got to finish season 2. I fell off season 2. I liked what I saw, but now, knowing what we know now, it feels like an HBO show, though. You got Robin dropping F-bombs, so
yeah, and we talked about last week. It's all going to be on HBO Max.
Yeah, right.
So it's
maybe,
an HBO Max original now.
Right now we know where it's going to be somewhere. We know these shows are probably a little more, because it's exhausting to invest in love Swamp Thing and then have it be pulled. So you don't want to see that happen with every show you start to watch.
Yeah, and no slight to DC on this, but this isn't their forte. So Matt Forte, that is. So putting it on HBO Max makes more sense because they're going to be able to curate it a little bit better and handle the kind of mistakes that lost us Swamp Thing a little bit better. So
yeah, and I think they already know they have a pre-existing not fan base, but customers on HBO that'll be like, oh, this looks interesting.
All the DC Universe people just move over.
Right. Movie news. Okay, we're getting the first piece of non-DC Comics movie news out of the way. Sony has announced that J.C. Chandor will be directing the Kraven the Hunter film. We knew Kraven the Hunter was coming, but if people don't recognize that name, he directed Triple Frontier, which was the Ben Affleck movie on Netflix, which wasn't a terrible film.
He's got another one coming with Poe Dameron, Oscar Isaac.
Yep.
And a few other people. So he's out there. Just if it's not Jason Momoa, don't waste my time.
Yeah, who else would you cast besides I don't know, a clone of Jason Momoa?
Yeah, if it's not Jason Momoa, then there's no reason for this movie to exist.
Right.
There's just no one better for Kraven, really.
And then we got a lot of trailers yesterday. So we're gonna start with the stuff that we've seen a little bit of before. The new Wonder Woman trailer. You're watching it, you're like, okay, are they gonna do the cheetah reveal? Or we got to see some action, some fight scenes before she's the cheetah, and then at the end we do get a glimpse of Cheetah. And a lot of people are like, it's kind of jarring seeing her, and she doesn't look good. But I think the whole point is she's not supposed to look good. Where it's the comics always made Cheetah oh well, she's still a sexy / woman / cheetah, because they have to sell comics, but the reveal in the end of the trailer is what have you done to yourself? You're a monster pretty much. So, and I like that. I like that reveal, and I like that realization of Wonder Woman. But what do you think?
I like how that trailer fucked with us too, because I show a lot of stuff we've seen, and what's his name? Captain Kirk.
Oh, yeah.
Fanny Pack.
Yep.
And then they show her fighting, Cheetah, quote unquote, fighting Wonder Woman, and it's just her in basically looking like a punk rocker from the 80s.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, they're gonna do that Cheetah. Okay, fine. I was like, okay, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. We're all like, oh, they're not gonna go into CGI, blah blah blah.
And then they show the CGI, and yeah, she looks like. Listen, whoever's CGI in that movie fixed it a little bit because there's some wonkiness there, but that is the Cheetah I wanted, and I do like that she looks a little fucked up. Like,
Yeah.
a person who transformed themselves into a cheetah.
Right. Yeah. Like Man-Bat. Like you expect Man-Bat to look really messed. Like Man-Bat's not cute looking. So
Yeah,
like,
I wasn't expecting her to look like sexy or anything.
Right,
But
right.
the face does look like a little Cats the musical, the film.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which that's just poor taste, I think, of man, why did cats have to come out at all? Damn it. There's gonna be so many memes. There's already memes flooding the internet. Like the one that I saw that made me laugh was like cats could walk so cheetah could run. Like, that was one of the good ones. Some other stuff. What?
I'm so glad they went with the full transformed into a cheetah thing. Like,
oh yeah,
that's how it needed to happen. That's what we needed to see. So I'm excited for this movie. I think the first one was good.
Yeah.
And I expect nothing less than from this one. So,
and I will say I like the idea of the first Wonder Woman movie. We really focused on like Wonder Woman in a new world. Everything was new to her, but now we get the trade-off. Now Steve Trevor is in it, like it's seen through his eyes of a new world, right? So now he's moved forward and like everything's new to him. So like I like that Patty Jenkins is like, okay, this worked in the first movie. We're gonna put a twist on it in the second movie where Wonder Woman's the one showing him around of what the new world is, and also that parachute pants scene was actually pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, oh, does everybody has a parachute? It's like, no. That's not.
And I like the idea of Maxwell Lord being, even he wasn't really shown in this one, but he's been in other ones, of Maxwell Lord being like kind of the puppet master and being the typical 80s businessman.
Yep.
I think it's a cool way to do that character in film. So
mark my word, because it was in the original Justice League script. Okay, mark my word. And this is that is the Miller Justice League script that got the movie that got canned. The George Miller script.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman will snap, either Wonder Woman or Cheetah. Someone will snap Maxwell Lord's neck. It's gonna happen. They're gonna kill. There's going to be a moment in the movie where I think because it's such when I read the script for the original Justice League, I read that, and like she was the one to kill Maxwell Lord, and we ended up seeing something like that. And remember Man of Steel where it snaps Zod's neck, whatever, blah blah blah. But there's like a moment or like a reason like Maxwell Lord needs to die because he's just gonna like keep doing bad shit, and she comes to the realization like, okay, I need to kill him. Like, I'm calling it.
First, you stole my joke about Superman going back in time being the one snapping his neck.
Oh, yeah.
Second, completely.
That's my move. I snap necks.
I'm the one that makes fun of DC around here.
Yeah.
But second, how has no one at DC like made the George Miller script into a comic series?
I don't know. It's so good, man. It has so much weight to it. Well, we should just make a podcast episode where we just go through the script and talk about it, because there's so much weight in that movie, because it's not like Parademons. It's not like the discount Parademons in all the Marvel movies. The Kree or the Skrull.
Chitauri.
Chitauri, yeah, the other one. They'll pick one alien race. But the cool thing about his script was they used the Omax. So they're real humans inside the cyborgs, and that's why they can't kill. They can't just like start blasting left and right. They have to like incapacitate them in a safe manner, because the Omax take over a human host, and that's like, okay, that's pretty cool.
Listen, production meeting, audio drama version.
Oh yeah. Well, we should work at that. We'll call up some people and see who wants to play what. Dibs on Batman, by the way. Just saying. I gotta play Batman.
Dibs on Wonder Woman.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. Yes. It's happening. Okay, we're gonna talk about it.
My only thing is to all my Bat Friends listeners out there, Joe must play Alfred, assuming Alfred's in this movie.
Yep.
Because he will be Arnold Schwarzenegger as Alfred.
Oh God! All right, we're gonna butcher this script. Anyways, we got so much more to talk about. we got the Snyder Cut trailer, and if you were to tell me like that was the movie we saw, however many years ago, that it's a completely different movie, man. Let's talk about those scenes. It's 4 hours long. You can either watch it all at once, which to me is the only way to watch it. You can either watch it all at once on HBO, or you can watch it in hour segments. But I mean, come on, it's COVID. Who doesn't have 4 hours to devote to Justice League? Come on, let's go. I know, whatever. 4 hours long. You got to go to the bathroom. Blah blah blah. You probably have to eat in between there. I get it.
Well, first of all, we don't know if it's going to come out during COVID. Second of all, if you can't hold your bladder for 4 hours, please consult a doctor.
Well, I mean, maybe some people were just born in a small bladder.
Listen, when the last two Avengers movies came out, I purposely dehydrated myself so I wouldn't leave that theater. No excuses, people. You plan ahead for these things. Yeah.
I mean, the fact that we get to watch it in the living room it helps too. But so let's talk about some of the scenes we get. Okay, number one. Help me out. The big CGI bad Steppenwolf. No. Well, they start off with it. We get Darkseid, which looks pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
We get like right out of the gates, Darkseid's in the movie. Like, no messing around. You see Darkseid and Apocalypse, and you see Desaad. Desaad looks awesome. I was more excited to see Desaad than Darkseid because I'm like, Darkseid just sits on his throne and he makes Desaad do all this shit. You know what I mean? Really cool glimpse of those two characters, but also the new. I don't even know if it's new or they just went back to the old rendering. Steppenwolf looks awesome. I mean, he looks completely different, and I don't know why they went with the version that we got in the movie. You know what I mean? Like the Joss Whedon version. Like he looked better in the trailer. I don't know.
Yeah, that one's I don't know. I almost think that they made changes to the Snyder CGI just to like differentiate it from the movie.
Yeah.
That makes sense?
Yep. And then we what else did we get? We got a lot more exploration with Cyborg's character. I can kind of side with why Ray Fisher's pissed off because it looks like they cut most of his scenes from the original movie. I'm like, there was like 5 or 6 scenes in the trailer. I'm like, we didn't see any of this shit.
It's because he's Cyborg.
Yeah. Well,
more importantly, we get Black Suit Superman.
Yep.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, Black Suit Superman. There's a scene where like Clark is at home with Ma Kent and help me out, Lois Lane. There's a scene where Cyborg's father, Silas Stone, is dying. Like he's trying to blow up the mother box, and he dies. And I'm like, oh, you mean so there wasn't like a worthless death scene with him and like Steppenwolf? It looks like a completely different movie. And there's some Aquaman scenes in there, and some more Batman stuff. There's an awesome shot of all the Justice League standing there. What else? The Flash scenes. There's so many extra Flash scenes that we didn't see in the movie, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I'm excited for it. That's all I get.
I am and I'm not at the same time. And I think the not comes from the fact that I know that like we're gonna get all pumped for what the world that could have been if that tragic incident didn't happen to I keep wanting to say Zack Snyder's family, and we got this movie.
Right.
And possibly the actual trilogy.
Right.
Because I think like Darkseid is gonna show up for like 10 minutes, and that's probably being generous.
Yep.
And then we'll never see him again because he wasn't supposed to show up till the third movie.
Yeah.
But, so I'm excited because I want to see what could have been, but I'm also kind of not excited because I'm just like, oh, it's going to be a big letdown because I'm not going to see where this goes.
Well, yeah, and I mean, part of that, yeah, that's true. But also, I think we're going to see these characters in a new light. Like the Barry Allen looked different in those scenes than the Barry Allen we got in the movie. He looks less annoying. I think. I don't know.
Yeah, and Zach came out and said that there was like things that he actually took some shots at Josh where he's like, certain lines and certain scenes.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, well, will this be a part of it? And he said, well, first, nothing that Josh shot will be in this movie. But second, like a lot of that stuff didn't make sense.
Right.
And I'm just
the
like,
the Russian family hiding from the parodies. Like, what is going on there?
Yeah, and there was one like I think it was Superman saying to Batman, like, "Do you bleed?"
Oh
And
yeah,
all back. And he's like, "That was never like in my movie. That was something that Josh added."
yeah. It was like, but either way, I'm excited. I'm gonna watch it.
Oh, I'm gonna watch the fuck out of it. Yeah.
Oh hell yeah! And
Really depressed at the end of it, but I'm gonna watch the fuck out of it.
Yeah. But the other thing is now they confirmed that Ben Affleck's coming back to play Batman in the upcoming Flash movie. So, and they talked about the whole Flash or not the cast, but at least Ezra Miller and the director, who is the director of the It movie, by the way.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So, and they even played on the fact that like he can make heart. Like, he can create heart between characters, like, the cast of the It movie, like the kids, but he also can create suspense and, like, terrifying and really heavy scenes. So I'm like, wow, that it actually kind of fits with what they were talking. I mean, like, Flashpoint, you have a lot of these cool characters, but you also have a really heavy storyline of, like, it's just a boy trying to save his mom. But they also revealed, did you see the new Flash suit?
Yes.
Oh, no, that looks really cool.
Flash.
Yeah, it's the new 52 Flash suit. None of that, like, airplane, broken down space shuttle bullshit. But they do confirm part of the script that he gets the new suit from Ben Affleck's Batman. So,
yeah.
So they're still in cahoots, I guess.
And who was it? Oh, Jim Lee said that. Because I never noticed it because the way my brain works is I know these characters, so it's like, that's the Flash, okay.
Right.
But apparently he was never called the Flash in any of these movies.
Oh.
I don't know. I'm taking Jim's word on this.
Yeah.
And he said that, well, actually he gets his name from when he meets Grant in Crisis. So now there's also like this talk about like, will Grant show up in this movie? Which would be cool. Like,
yeah, I think so. I think it'd be awesome.
But yeah, there's a lot of things they're doing here. I just it really shows that, well, one, they want to celebrate the past of DC movies, which bringing Keaton back, and as long as I get a Batman Beyond movie out of this, I don't care. Yeah. But also, like, it shows that they really want to kind of clean up the mess that they made and try to do Justice League again.
Yeah. I think just the self-realization that, like, okay, we messed up and we're trying to fix it is nice. Yeah. Okay. So I think maybe we'll talk about, since we already talked about Batman a little bit. Let's talk about that first Batman trailer. I was not. I mean, we had gotten a poster, and we had gotten the new bat symbol, and we had gotten some screens of Bruce Wayne. And, like, I was even picking apart the screenshot because I wasn't expecting a trailer. I'm like, there's no way only 25% of the movie is filmed. No way we're getting a trailer that makes sense or holds up to any sort of Batman story. And, like they said, they showed that picture of, Rob Pattinson as Bruce Wayne. The one thing I do like about the picture, because I was, like, analyzing it, even though it's just a picture of a dude in a suit, he looks tired.
That's what we do.
Right. He looks tired. Now, you're Bruce Wayne. You're in business meetings all day, or you're not. I don't know. But you're fighting crime all night. You never sleep. And I don't know. I've never seen a Batman that looks as tired as he does. Or Bruce Wayne. Like, he's got bags under his eyes. This boy has been up all night.
It's because the real Batman snorts Adderall all the time, so he's good to go.
He's good to go. But anyways, they dropped the trailer. Matt Reeves drops a 4K trailer on his Instagram, Twitter, whatever, and it's dark and it's gritty, but it's also a detective movie, which Chris has been asking for. Detective Batman, right? I mean, opening scene, we get the Riddler, wrapping a guy up, and he leaves some cryptic message behind. I love the fact that it wasn't really a riddle; it was more of a cryptic message, like the Zodiac Killer style of message.
Yeah, I almost thought it was Hush for a second. The way like it was like the first time I watched it, I was like, wait, when they never said they were doing Hush.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been asking for a detective movie because they keep saying he's the world's greatest detective, but I never see him do detective shit.
Right.
So
yeah, and the fact that like and I don't know if this has been done in a Batman movie before. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just talking out loud here and just, riffing, but the fact that they let Batman into the crime scene, like the reveal that, like, first off, Matt Reeves can shoot a fucking movie, man. Oh my god. The reveal of, like, you get Commissioner Gordon, you're like, holy shit, Jeffrey Wright looks awesome. Love that guy. I mean, we all know he's an amazing actor. You get this crime scene, and then it's not just Commissioner Gordon on a rooftop, it's everybody in the scene turning to Batman like, what do you got for us? Like, you're the detective. Figure this out. Like, you know this guy? And he walks into the scene, dude. It is an amazing shot. You get the full bat suit, you get the cowl. It looks great. I know we had some thoughts or issues about the ears. I think he looks great. I don't know.
So Matt Reeves can shoot the shit out of something because he made me cry at a bunch of monkeys.
Yep.
Yeah, the suit looks fantastic. The stills that they show of the helmet originally did not do it justice. I mean, this is always the case. I'm pretty sure we said at the time, like, it looks like shit and still, but I'll wait to see what this movie looks like. Yeah, it looks great. That scene was cool. It shows that even though we have a young Batman, he's definitely, like, into his career. It's not like it's his first rodeo.
Right.
And yeah, the cast looks awesome. I mean, the introduction of Catwoman looked great. My only complaint of the whole thing was the Batmobile still looks dumb. But other than that, I thought the fight scene looked good. Like, listen, I didn't like Affleck killing criminals. Like, that kind of went too far for me.
But breaking their face is fine.
But beating the fuck out of them until they're like, they wish they were dead, that's Batman.
Yeah. And the reveal, like, there's not a whole lot of fighting, but the one scene they show is just like in the raw, like he's pissed, man, and he beats the shit out of the guy and goes, I am vengeance. And then the tease, like, Matt Reeves knows, like, I am vengeance, I am the night. Like, that's the line from the animated series, man. That's what we appreciate about, like, Kevin Conroy, that Batman. And he cuts it off, like, I am vengeance. And the voice too. It's not too growly.
Yeah.
And it just made, I don't know, it worked. And that scene, and then they pan back to the group of goons, and they're like terrified. They're like, what do we do now? I think the Riddler is Paul Dano is a great actor. His voice and the lines he's delivering, he's almost trying to hold the police accountable. Like, if you really want to be justice, I think he's trying to flesh out the corruption within the police force, which, I don't know if we can really relate to that these days, but
it's only been a thing in Batman comics for 80 years, but yeah.
Right. But I love the fact that, I mean, they're using Riddler. Like you said, the Catwoman scenes are cool. I want to see more, and I can't wait. I mean, I wasn't expecting this trailer, but it was awesome.
Yeah, and there's little touches I really like. Like, it's gonna get made fun of online because it's sparkly vampire guy, but how pale Robert Pattinson is.
Right.
Like, he never goes outside in the sun. So
yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's the little details like that.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't go outside and he's sleepy, man. He's just he doesn't sleep.
And yeah, like you said, him being all tired with, like, the eye makeup to hide his face from the mask,
right?
And things like that, like, just really sells it for me. I'm down for this movie. I cannot wait. Like, this is still number 2 for me in the DC slate, but it's almost like a 1B for me.
Yeah,
And
right.
we talked about it off mic, and we'll talk about more with the next movie we're going to talk about. But
Yeah.
this is the first time I've been really excited for like multiple DC movies, and think that they could have a slate that will rival, if not be better than what Marvel has coming up. So, yeah, I'm really excited for this movie.
Yeah. And there's a cool scene, if you slow down the trailer, we get a glimpse of it. He does get shot in the chest in the metal bat symbol, and it deflects a bullet. So it's not only a cool logo, but it also it's used for deflecting bullets. I thought, hats off to Matt Reeves, dude. I'm in it. I'm in it. It's let's see more. And I think he looks Robert Pattinson looks great as Batman. I think he looks great.
This also tangentially got me really excited for his like Gotham Central TV show he's doing.
Yeah,
it's like part of this universe.
Yeah, and yeah, if it's like dark and gritty, like Jeffrey Wright just going around like, well, this sucks. Like I would watch that.
As long as I get Harvey Bullock eating a donut, that's all that matters.
That's all that matters. Was that Harvey Bullock in the trailer at the podium? I mean, that had like, there's no like more identifiable police officer than Harvey Bullock, like the guy who's like, drinking every night and is overweight and.
Yeah, and if you're gonna do like ultra corrupt GCPD,
yeah.
Harvey's the best character because Harvey's the guy that you're like, he's definitely corrupt,
but he's not. He's just real, man. He's seen so much shit that he can't be a nice guy anymore. And if he wants to survive on the force, you can't. Yeah, you're right.
He lives police work. Like the dude has nothing else in his life. He's the guy that he doesn't work to live; he lives to work.
Yep.
And it sometimes looks like he's doing bad things. So like I hope that's Harvey. I hope Harvey's in it in some way.
Yeah,
because that'd be awesome.
If it's not, it's a dude that looks straight out of the comics, like Harvey look. Yeah, there's a lot of characters that we didn't even get to see in the trailer. So, but like I said, only 25% of the movie shot. Now we got a lot of info about the new Suicide Squad movie. We got some footage. We got some character questions answered. Where do we even begin with all this info? I mean, we had been speculating on who was going to play what. So I'm just going to read the list. We got a lot of info from James Gunn. So the team is Harley Quinn, Margot Robbie, yep. Bloodsport, Idris Elba, confirmed. Peacemaker is John Cena, and the costume is so... First off, the thing that I love about this is the costume and the colors are so vibrant. Like, I don't know what palette they're using for the... It just, everything like pops out at you, and I think it's awesome that they did that.
Real quick, for all the characters.
Yeah.
They used just the weird, not even weirdest. They just use colors that pop and look like their counterparts from the comics.
And I think that might have been part of the David Ayer Suicide Squad. It was like it had like this washed, like dark filter over everything. It was. I don't know.
It's one of the criticisms I had about DC's original universe, to go back.
Right.
Like, Marvel initially they had whoever was designing their shit knew how to make stuff that works separately, but when brought together, worked even better. Yeah. And one of the problems with Zack Snyder is that he likes to go dark.
Yep.
And so once you do Batman dark and Superman dark and Justice League dark, everything has to be dark. So it's like, okay, let's do Suicide Squad, which should be a little goofy.
Right.
Nope, it's gotta be dark.
Yeah, there wasn't any vibrant colors in those costumes at all.
Yeah, and I think they've learned, like, it's not like any of these characters are going to be joining the Justice League movie or whatever they do moving forward, but except for maybe Harley Quinn, but you don't need to like stick to everything has to look like Batman v Superman,
right?
Yep,
so. I agree. The rest of the cast: Rick Flag is Joel Kinnaman from the last one. Captain Boomerang still Jai Courtney. The Thinker Peter Capaldi, I was like, they did the interview. I'm like, I forgot Doctor Who is in this movie, and he was like so serious and like such a treasure being. He's like, I'm just happy to be here, and I'm like, Peter Capaldi, he's in this movie.
So stopping there,
Yeah,
of all, and you're about to get in some characters,
right?
Mind you, we called at least 2 of these.
Right.
This is the weirdest character of any of the ones they announced.
Right.
The Thinker, like,
The
yeah,
Thinker.
he was in the Flash TV show. I get it,
Right,
but
right.
still,
Yeah.
the Thinker,
The Thinker, the dude with all the things coming out of his. Yeah.
All right, move on.
And it doesn't stop there. It gets weirder. Blackguard, Pete Davidson, which is Pete Davidson, and the guy from SNL. Like, yeah, he's in it. I'm curious to see how he does. Polka-Dot Man is David DeSmallchin.
The star of this movie.
Yeah, Polka-Dot Man's there, and they gave you like little glimpses of their costume. It's got polka dots.
And they shoot out polka dots.
Oh,
it's awesome.
Yeah. Yep.
Everybody's gonna love Polka Dot Man as much as Mike and me after this. Polka Dot Man rules.
Yep. Savant, Michael Rooker, and I love the fact that everybody is just like picking on Michael Rooker in the whole interview and stuff. He's just like, "Hey, man, come on!" They're like, but it's like it's like lovable, like I don't want to work with him, blah blah blah. But Savant is like that pretty boy vigilante, kind of like Bruce Wayne, but he's got like a ridiculous like long white hair wig on. He just looks ridiculous. Like they gave him the most ridiculous look. Arms Fall Off Boy is indeed Nathan Fillion.
We called it.
Yeah, we called that one.
Listen, Nathan Fillion rips off his arm and beats somebody with it. This movie gets a 10 out of 10.
Yep. King Shark, Steve Agee.
Fuck yes.
King Shark, baby. Let's go. They always forget about the King Shark. He's important.
This is the good part too. So we'll get to the gaming stuff later, but we've gotten King Shark and Flash. Yeah, he looks badass.
Yep.
We're getting King Shark in this video game, and he's kind of badass, but a little bit like he's the dumb shark guy.
Yeah.
King Shark in this movie looks doofy as fuck, and I love it.
Oh, yeah.
He looks like the idiot of the group.
Yep.
And everybody's just like, there's a fucking giant walking shark here. What's going on?
Yeah, exactly.
It's
and
awesome.
Then we get Weasel, who's being a CGI character played by Sean Gunn. And it's just a weasel, dude. Like, they're like, well, what are his powers? It's like, it's not like Rocket Raccoon, it's like, this dude's just a weasel.
First of all, we were all waiting for the Sean Gunn reveal, but
yeah, right. Yeah, I know. Keeping his brother afloat.
Weasel.
Yeah, Weasel, man.
So I'm renaming this movie now, James Gunn. It's no longer the Suicide Squad. I will now refer to it as Polka-Dot Man and His Amazing Friends.
Yep, I agree with that. That's I'm sold on the movie. It looks awesome. The whole interview they were talking about like the John Ostrander Suicide Squad and what he did with those characters, and it looks like James Gunn is invested. He says the most fun he's ever had making a movie, which is like you made 2, 3, you're making the third Guardians of the Galaxy movie. Like you said that, and Marvel's listening. He obviously doesn't give a shit. But yeah, I'm excited.
So this is my 1A because James Gunn,
right?
And because it's Polka-Dot Man and His Amazing Friends.
Yeah.
Really excited for this movie, and I really think I almost think that James Gunn's telling the truth here because I almost feel like when James Gunn got canceled and was fired from Guardians, and then DC swooped in and said, "We don't care, make us a movie."
Yeah.
They came with, you can have the Suicide Squad and do whatever the fuck you want. And I think he went through and listened to old episodes of Fortress Comic News and picked all the crappy villains.
Yep. Yeah.
And said, I'm going to make this movie.
Yep.
And I almost think he's testing the world in Hollywood to be like, listen, if I could do Peacemaker, John Cena's Peacemaker and Polka-Dot Man, what's your excuse?
Right. Yeah.
And I I want this movie now. Like, this is the first time I felt like this about a DC movie.
Yeah.
I want it now.
Yep. And the fact that like I the Guardians of the Galaxy movies are great, but like they had this big fight scene at the end with the guy who judges people and reports to Thanos.
Oh, Ronan the Accuser.
Ronan the Accuser. And it was this big thing of the galaxy's in danger, but like this is just the Suicide Squad. The galaxy's not in danger this time. And you have a walking great white. Like that's gonna be awesome.
Though, the thing is, he also gets to do it again, because what most people don't remember is that outside of like, I like the Guardians from Annihilation, and I know a lot of people love that series, but outside of that, like, nobody knew who the Guardians were.
Right.
Nobody liked the Guardians.
Mm-hmm.
And when they announced the Guardians of the Galaxy, even Marvel fans were sitting back going, who?
Yeah, right.
That's your next movie?
Right.
Okay. So I'm sure even DC fans are going, wait, you're doing Polka-Dot Man and His Amazing Friends?
Yep.
Okay.
It's of note that Harley Quinn's look in this movie is awesome. Like, you usually don't hear that come for me, but what they did with like Margot Robbie's costume looks really cool.
They did something too with like, because with this version of Harley Quinn, like, she's from the ghetto and has tattoos, right. And but the one thing they did was they showed a like quick thing where she has new tattoos in this, and it's stuff that calls back to like Birds of Prey.
Yeah.
And some of the other things have happened. So I like that too, that they're like evolving her character beyond what it was in the Suicide Squad that she'll never named.
If King Shark doesn't eat one of Arm Fall Off Boy's arms in this movie, I want my money back. Or at least if King Shark doesn't eat at least two of the cast members to like trim down the team.
I think King Shark dies.
Yeah.
And how he will die is he will eat somebody. I don't know who yet.
Yep.
And they will blow up inside of him.
Yep.
That's my prediction.
Why not? I mean, yeah. You heard us, James Gunn. Take our advice. And then that's not even all the movie news we got. They brought up the Black Adam movie, which hasn't been mentioned in, I don't know, 7 years. That we always like.
Yeah, I'm shocked they're still making it.
Yeah, but they gave us, Warner Brothers and Dwayne Johnson gave us some info about the Black Adam movie. And we know, anybody that knows the story of Black Adam, it took place a long time ago. So, Black Adam is an ancient, from the Egyptian times. He gets sent out into space, blah, blah, blah. He comes back. There's a Shazam on Earth. Oh, we got to fight. That's you can take my idea for the script. DC.
That's what happened too.
Yeah, that's pretty much. I just summed it up. And most importantly, it's said to feature the JSA. What? What? Are you serious? So that means it makes a little more sense. They're going to have like a modern day Black Adam that maybe takes place in like the 1940s, right? His Middle Eastern country is probably enslaved, becomes Black Adam, gets sent out into space, comes back, he's all pissed off. I like that idea. I don't really, I can't really resonate with the Egyptian times. I can resonate with the 1940s JSA.
I almost think you still do the Egyptian thing.
Yeah.
He's Egyptian slave. Because he has to be a slave of some sort. Like,
right.
And Dwayne Johnson brings that up. Like, that's an important part of who he is.
Oh, yeah, he was a slave.
Yeah, that whole thing happens. He becomes Black Adam, and then comes back to like the 40s. And Kahndaq will be like, just throw them into World War II somehow, and he can fight JSA. Like, I'd have to work out the exacts, but that would be my like, yeah. Like, just throw Kahndaq into World War II. The JSA is there for some reason. They fight Black Adam. Okay. Then, when we do Shazam 3, oh, look. it's Dwayne The Rock Johnson as Black Adam. Let's go.
Let's go. Duke it out for 2.5 hours. Now, to me, it makes a little more sense why they've been like so shy about the JSA in the comic book world, because they like to time things where like this is really popular right now in the comics. Hey, look at this movie with these characters that you've been seeing lately. So maybe they're just trying to figure out the best way to work the JSA into the timeline, or where to place them in the timeline in the DC universe. I'm not sure. That's just my thoughts.
My other thing too is go talk to whoever did that first scene from Stargirl, the only episode I've watched so far, by the way.
Right.
And just do that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's already been done perfectly. Do that.
Yep. Just do more of that. Yeah. So, I mean, okay, that was just a reassurance that movie's happening. Shazam 2 is officially announced, which is awesome because we love the first one. And the title, Shazam: Fury of the Gods. We were really unsure like where they were gonna go with this. We do know that, Mr. Mine was revealed at the end of the first one, so something's gonna happen and the gods are gonna be pissed. I think they could do a really quirky thing with the gods, like Zeus, like don't make it so serious, like they did with like the seven sins, like murdering people. Like make Zeus like a pretty boy womanizer. Not like, like don't make it wizard, but like, you know what I mean? Like, because the actual lore of Zeus is like he just impregnates all these women and creates gods and like.
Yeah, have him turn into a buffalo and fuck a chick. Yeah.
Yeah. Something.
I always use buffalo. I don't know if he actually turned into a buffalo. I know he turns into animals and fucks women. Yeah. Like, that's Zeus's
That's
thing.
all I know. But like, they could. I want the weird quirkiness out of the gods. I don't want them all to be super serious, like the Council of Gods, and like take the idea and make it fun. And I think they're going to do that. But it's just they can do so much with this character now, bringing these gods in.
Yeah, I think that this goes back to what we were talking about before, with like everything has to look like Batman v Superman,
right?
And they had this like halfway point with Shazam, where it's like it's a really like quirky, funny movie. And it's kind of making fun of superheroes, but then the villain is the darkest, most terrifying thing we can think of.
Yep.
And yeah, that's like the only complaint about that movie is just do something a little bit more quirky with the villain. And I'll be interested to see like how because you gotta do Mr. Mind. I'm not a big Shazam fan, so forgive me, but you got to bring in Mr. Mind somehow. And then you're bringing in gods. Somebody smarter than me will figure it out, but I'll go see it because the first one was good.
I think it's a cool title as well.
Hey everybody, Chris here. Just want to take a quick break from the show to remind you all that if you go to fortressofcomicnews.com, there's a banner at the top for Amazon. If you use that Amazon banner, we get a little kickback from it as an advertising fee. So if you do any of your purchases on Amazon, we would really appreciate it if you would use our banner to do all your purchases. That way you can help out the show, help out us, and get all the awesome things you buy on Amazon, including comics, DVDs, everything. So remember, go to fortresscomicnews.com and use that Amazon banner on the top. Thank you all so much for listening, and let's move on to the rest of the show.
And then we can talk about the gaming news.
Video games.
Yeah, video games. So the first one being revealed that I wasn't even waiting for this one, but Warner Montreal announced that their new video game, Batman Gotham Knights. It's set in Gotham after the death of Batman, and it's gonna feature playable characters Batgirl, Nightwing, Red Hood, and Tim Drake Robin, set for 2021 release. The trailer looked really cool. It was Batman dying and giving his last farewell, and I love the fact that he doesn't get all mushy on them, like you're the better part of me, you're the best, I love you, blah blah. He's just like, gotta go.
Nope, it's on you now.
It's on you now. Gotta go. Like, it wasn't heartfelt, and that's like the cold treatment that you're always gonna get from Batman. And then we see Red Hood with the guns. You see the purple Batgirl suit. We see the Nightwing with the chopsticks and the Tim Drake Robin. It looks cool as hell. I'm down. I mean, we love the Bat family, and there's so much Batman going on. Like, give us a game with the Bat family. And they're like listening to the fans. I feel like it's going to be really cool. I'm excited
Yeah.
for it.
And one of the things like Rocksteady did with the Arkham games was those like challenge rooms where you
Right,
could play as Nightwing and all
right,
that. And it was always frustrating because it's like, okay, it's just a challenge room. Like this,
right.
I can only do like one or two of them, and I'm
Yeah.
bored.
Hmm.
So I'm glad that it's basically its own game now. And also, WB Montreal, people can shit on all they want. Batman Arkham Origin was awesome,
Hmm.
and I'm really excited for them to like get their own thing and do it.
Yeah.
The only thing is, I pretty sure I'm just gonna play as Batgirl the whole time.
Well, I'm pretty sure I'm only going to play as Red Hood because I just want to start blasting.
See, I don't want to be Nightwing because he's a disco dancer. Robin is stupid, and it's a
It'll
Batman
be
game. So why do
right.
I want to shoot guns?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm going to switch between Batgirl and Red Hood. I think Nightwing and Tim Drake Robin I could do without them. I think. I'm sure they'll all have their own special skills. You're going to need them to do whatever. But the game that I was really excited for, we have been speculating on it, and give Chris a round of applause because they actually put it into the title. Rocksteady revealed the Suicide Squad game is titled Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League, and the release trailer is awesome. The playable characters: Harley Quinn, Deadshot, King Shark, Captain Boomerang, and they even have like the trailer's hilarious. The big reveal. There's the whole reveal of like oh, Amanda Waller's calling up. Who's our target? Target Alpha. And there's this whole scene where like Superman swoops in and saves a helicopter pilot and then burns them alive. Come to find out, Brainiac is like controlling everyone, and it's an evil Superman. And they're like, that's the target, and that's how the trailer ends. Uh, I'm so on board for this. They did some cool thing with Boomerang to keep up with everybody else of like when he throws his boomerang, he kind of like blinks or like teleports to it in the trailer, which looked really cool. Like he like speed up to it. It looked. I mean, King Shark's in it, so like, come on.
Yeah. So I'll be playing as King Shark the whole time.
Yeah.
My only complaint of this whole thing was like after the fact they're talking about how it connects with the Arkham verse.
Right.
Stop. I want to put a bullet in Superman's face.
Yep.
I don't want to incapacitate him. I want to kill him. But yeah, it still looks awesome.
Yeah, it still looks really cool.
That trailer was great.
Yeah.
The 4 playable characters, much like the last game we just talked about,
Yeah.
makes sense. And it's Rocksteady. Like,
yeah.
so
Yep.
I'm excited.
I'm very excited. And yeah, that's it. I mean, that's it for all the news. We're gonna jump into the comic book news. But yeah, DC Fandome did not disappoint. It had a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah, so we'll get to it, but it did disappoint in one aspect.
Oh well, okay. Marvel has announced a new anthology series titled Wolverine, Black, White, and Blood. The first issue will be released in November and has stories by Matt Rosenberg, Jerry Dugan, and Declan Shalvey. Do you read a lot of Wolverine? I mean, he hasn't really had a self-titled book in a while, right?
Well, they killed him. They brought him back. Even when he was dead, he had his own book. He had Old Man Logan.
Yep.
And he has one as part of the Hickman stuff.
Mm-hmm.
My joke here is it's nothing like Harley Quinn, Black, White, and Red.
Yeah.
At all. Nothing.
Yep. No.
But good for them. Good creators. Wolverine, so why not?
Yep. Marvel has announced the return of the Eternals to comics. Oh, it's almost like there's a movie series coming up. Writer Kieran Gillen with artist Asad Ribic and Matt Wilson will be a creative team for the series set to hit shelves in November. So look out for that.
Yeah, I love the Eternals. Eternals are great. And I'm excited for Kieran Gillen because this is like the first I mean, he's been on some stuff that's kind of high profile, but this is going to be like the book that everybody goes back to and be like, this is where Kieran Gillen became like a big name because we're going with the assumption that the Eternals movie is going to be great. I'll just leave it there. So you have the book coming out during the movie. I think that's going to be everybody's going to be wanting Eternal stuff. So
yeah,
I'll be picking this up.
DC announced that they're bringing back Milestone Comics in the spring of 2021. The first 2 comics are digital first, Static Shock book, and a print icon and Rocket series. Why can't they just give Static Shock why can't they just make Static Shock a DC product? What is wrong with Static Shock? I don't. Where is this hate from DC coming from? Why can't Static Shock get his own book? You gave Frankenstein and the Agents of Shade a New 52 title.
Hold up. Okay. Static Shock was a part of New 52.
Yeah, I know, but they bring they bring Frankenstein back in like Superman series, Justice League Dark. Why did everybody forget about Static Shock?
Because Frankenstein's way more interesting than fucking Static Shock. So, first of all, this was the only comic news of DC Fandome.
I know. That's the problem. Yeah.
Is we're bringing back a shitty 90s imprint.
Right. Yeah.
So I got like,
yep.
What? I know. You just canceled Justice League. You canceled Teen Titans.
Right.
You canceled Justice League Odyssey. I'm sorry, not Justice League. Suicide Squad. Justice League Odyssey. A bunch of great books. And you're bringing back Milestone?
I know. It's really sad.
I'm sorry. I know people love Static Shock from the animated series. I didn't like that series. I don't like that character. You have a far more interesting character called Black Lightning, who does exactly what Static Shock does. So
Static Shock flies around on a
his hoverboard.
Manhole cover is a manhole cover.
Yeah, we get it. It's dumb.
Either way, this isn't news for comics. They were just like, we're probably doing this, bringing an imprint. Like, yeah, they were not prepared to do any comic book news.
And then there was like talk about we might do a Static Shock live action movie. No, don't.
I think they're just testing the waters with that.
I went back and I looked at all the Milestone stuff, and I was like, because obviously when I think Milestone, I think Static Shock. So immediately my brain went to why the fuck Milestone. But
yeah,
I went back and looked at all of it. I'm just like, okay, like none of it looks like stuff that I would read as a like ongoing series.
Mm-hmm.
Like one character basically looked like Deathlock, which is like, okay, Deathlock's cool when he's like a side character,
right?
And I don't know. Good for that. I'm just so upset.
I almost wonder if they just had to do this to keep the property, like keep the trademark. They had to put something out.
Probably.
Yeah. But anyways, let's get to some good comic news here, Chris. Scott Snyder and Tony S. Daniel have announced their creator-owned project. Nocturnal is a comic series 10 years after the world is plunged into everlasting night and is now on Kickstarter. The book's going to be released 2021, so you heard it here. Nocturnal. It's on Kickstarter.
Cool.
Darkness all the time. Scott Snyder, buy the book.
Scott Snyder has his own imprint now at Image.
Yep.
Okay. He's going to kickstart a book. He doesn't need to kickstart. Okay.
Yeah, it's very interesting why he's kickstarting it, especially with Tony S. Daniel on the art. Like, so strange.
So, I'll pick this book up when it comes to comic shops. I'm not going to do the Kickstarter thing.
Right.
Like, I get it. If you're a big Snyder and or Daniels fan, like the Kickstarter is going to be for one. They're going to print this version once only and never again, quote unquote, until they need money. But I don't like people of Snyder and Daniels ilk using Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Just because you don't need it. Like, for me, this has already been solicited as a Image book. It's already been said to be coming to Image Comics.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you need to take away from some of the great stuff going on Kickstarter on the indie space, like the truly indie space,
right?
For this, that's my only critique there. But the book does look kind of cool.
Yeah,
and Scott Snyder, I'll check it out.
Yeah, I don't understand the whole why they're going to Kickstarter first, but
and good for him for having his own imprint Image now. Like,
yeah,
give him that money.
Give him all the money. So what we read this week, I only got through like 2.5 books. It's kind of a crazy week for me. So I had Justice League, Batman, and then I got through like half of the Dark Knight's Metal Guide. I hope Chris read it so he could talk about it. But Justice League 51. This is the Justice League book that I was like gushing about. We get another Justice League story. They bring this is Jeff Loveness and Robson Roca on the art. It's a Black Mercy story. It's really interesting. They travel. They're coming home from the being on that planet where they to be continued. We're heading back to Earth. They get to what they think is Earth, and it's not. It's a ship with the Black Mercy on it, and they're pretty much trapped. So the next issue is going to be probably exploring all their fears and stuff like that. We haven't had a Black Mercy story in a while. I think that maybe Morrison did like a Superman one with New 52, if I remember correctly.
We had one more recent than that.
Did we?
Yeah, because Superman was trapped in the Black Mercy for a bit.
Oh, okay.
And I think it was a Batman Superman book. Or no, it was the Trinity book. That's what it was.
Okay.
When they remember that Trinity series they did?
Yep, okay.
They reference it in here where they say, we recently came across one, but that must have been a seedling because this thing is gigantic.
This is the main one. Yeah. This is the big kahuna. So I mean it wasn't a terrible story. And we get each individual Justice League character, he's paying a lot of attention to each individual character, trying to give them their own voice. It's not bad. I mean, I've read worse Justice League, a lot worse than this. So you know how I feel about my superhero books though, with let's not spend too much time in the Nightmare Realm, You know what I mean? Like
I feel like you're only getting one more issue of this story because I think 53 is supposed to be a metal tie-in.
Okay. Which that's fine too.
But I like this issue. Yeah. Justice League 53 is a metal tie-in.
That's right. Yep, they do advertise that.
So, I really like the book, and I like kind of the imagery of Flash like being sucked into the Black Mercy.
Yeah, that was pretty interesting.
So there was some cool things there. I've never heard of Jeff Loveness though. I'll have to check him out.
It's a new writer, so I like that they're not just putting big names. I mean, give them a shot. Batman 97, James Tynion the IV. Interesting dynamic happening in Gotham. A lot of the the Joker goons, the clowns are afraid to make deliveries around Gotham because there's people that are rebelling. More specifically, one is a kid going around who's been given the nickname Clown Killer. So he's going around killing. He's going around killing all these goons. So, and that's like, and Joker makes a point of like, oh, this is what I want. I want chaos within the city. People killing each other and thinking that they're doing good. Meanwhile, Batman is still trapped in the theater fighting the zombie people. And the way he gets out of the thing, because they're like nanobots, he finds out that are controlling the people and reanimating them. He gets out of there by using an EMP. But come to find out, he's still been poisoned. When he uses the EMP, Alfred says that, your communications are going to be down. You won't be able to hear me anymore because he's been hearing Alfred in his head. So he gets out of the theater, he collapses, and Harley is there to help him out. She brings him into this like secret area that Ivy had created within Gotham, like a secret garden, and has him drink this special tea to like get all the toxins out of him. Well, it makes him trip balls, and he like passes out. And she's like, "You gotta go through that. You gotta trip balls to get it out of your system." So that's where Batman is right now. And then Joker gives Punchline, his new girl, the okay to kill Harley, or at least kill someone, or like at least like kill her emotionally, someone that's close to her. So I don't know if they're going to plan on trying to kill Batman or try to kill Harley, but it's not a terrible story.
So real quick,
yeah,
Jeff Loveness was in an episode of The Office.
Oh,
he was a writer for Onion News Network and Jimmy Kimmel.
Yep,
and he was a writer. What was it? Writer and producer for the most recent Rick and Morty season.
That's cool.
He's also got a writer credit for the Ant-Man and Wasp sequel, the one coming out in a couple of years.
Yep.
And he's written for Marvel Comics. So
cool.
He's done stuff that we like.
Yeah, awesome. And then I had the third book was Dark Knight's Death Metal Guidebook. I didn't get through all of this. I got through the main intro. Lots of writers are on this book, and it's pretty much like what happened when the Batman came to Earth and destroyed it. We find out that Lex Luthor is still alive. We already had that revealed in the main Death Metal book, and why he's working with Lobo to get all the death metals is to bring the Legion of Doom back. And I thought that was pretty cool. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna get the band's getting back together. And then I read the Harley Quinn story was kind of funny, where she's like the metal queen of the desert, and it's basically a story of how she gets her giant hyena back. And then the third story is the Aquaman and the Seven Seas. I haven't finished the book yet, though. The stories aren't terrible; they're not bad.
So, yeah, much like the last one, like one shot. I think the first story is the best one, and then it gets kind of from there.
Yeah, right.
It did get me really excited for Justice League 53, where basically it's gonna be the Doom Squad, whatever they're called.
Yep.
And the Harley Quinn book, the Harley Quinn story, the best part about that is that they're in a territory full of mutants, and they use the mutants from Dark Knight.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
The Aquaman book reminded me that Becky Cloonan is an awesome artist, and she needs to do more stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And what were the other two? I don't even remember. So yeah, we get kind of we get a story about Poison Ivy and her down in like the hell with Wonder Woman. It was just like Poison Ivy realizes that the Earth is no longer green, and I don't care. And then the last story was who wrote it? Written by Priest. I don't know who Priest is. But the last story was Batman and Jonah Hex. And this one's kind of important moving forward, everybody, because we find out that like Batman is kind of losing it slowly due to the Black Lantern ring. And he gives Jonah Hex a special bullet made out of energy from the White Lantern ring and tells him, like, you'll know when to use this.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and then with that, they fight a Joker dragon. But that was, like, the real important part.
Yeah,
like I said, the first story was really good. The last story was important and kind of interesting. Yep. The rest of it was, okay. I mean, the most important thing here is Becky Cloonan can draw.
Yep.
Then I had Captain America 22. Yeah, it's still bad. The only thing about this issue was it was more punchy. So it was Batman, Captain America, Winter Soldier, and Falcon fighting this enemy. And then for some reason, Sharon Carter decides to grab the American Patriot armor and come and help. I don't know why. It's dumb. I'm going to leave 4 for last.
Yeah.
because we need to talk about some Thor.
Oh.
Teen Titans number 44. So in Teen Titans, Damian's kind of gone over the edge. He killed Brother Blood in last issue, and he went after KG Beast in this issue. And the rest of the Teen Titans aren't cool with that. So they're trying to figure out like what he's doing and why he's doing it. And then kind of the big reveal here is that at the end, Batman shows up and tells them like, "There's no more Teen Titans. Like you've gone too far." And also in there, Deathstroke shows up and he's going to kill the Teen Titans apparently. So it's been okay. It's coming to an end, so I'm just going to finish off the series personally. And then I got Star Wars Bounty Hunters number 4. I really like this issue or this series. So Valiant finds his target, and when his target tells him what's going on, he goes, "Oh well, maybe what happened in our past isn't what I thought it was." Decides to let her go, and then Boba Fett shows up. So that's cool.
Mm-hmm. That's how you get people interested in a bounty hunter book. You bring the most iconic bounty hunter back.
Thor number 6.
Herald of None. Nice.
So, Thor kills Galactus in this, first of all.
Awesome.
And then decides he's going to take Galactus' helmet and use it as his new castle in Asgard.
Oh. Awesome.
That's not even the best thing that happened in this issue. So yeah, Black Winter's there, and they tell the backstory of what Galen Galactus did in the old universe, and that's when Thor steps in and says no. He then kills Galactus and then defeats the Black Winter. But the Black Winter leaves like one snowflake left of black snow, I guess, and it touches Thor and shows him how he's gonna die. All we see is, what was the line? "You have won, nothing, your end. It cannot be stopped. It is coming." Oh, that's what it was. Okay, so they show him his end. His eyes turn black, and the image we get is this.
Oh, I see Thanos kind of.
I'm turning off my thing. You can all see my backdrop. This is important. We see this.
Oh.
So what we get here is Thanos holding Mjolnir with the Infinity Stones on it.
Yep.
An army of what looks like zombie Marvel Universe.
Yep.
And an unknown gauntlet in his other hand.
Yep. Damn.
That gauntlet looks like something that maybe Null has. So Donny Cates has some plans, apparently.
Yeah. So that's the first issue with Donny Cates jumping on, right?
No, this is the 6th issue of him.
Oh, so he's okay.
So this is the end of the first story arc.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, Thor's awesome. Like, read the series that just happened. It was great, but Donny Cates has been killing it, and he's obviously setting up something big for possibly down the line for his run. Another thing, Silver Surfer shows up in this issue. He's all black, much like he was in that King Thor story.
Yep.
Earth King Thor. I keep messing up names today. King Thanos story.
Thanos, the King Thanos one, yep. Cool.
So
maybe I'll have to check it out now. Oh, I'll have to read a Thor book.
Check out the series. It's really good. The first 6 issues are all really good. I'm sure they're going to be in a trade soon. So, and if you're a Marvel fan, it seems like they're really pumping up Donny Cates because he's got the King in Black coming up, and then this obviously shows something coming up in the next year, possibly 2 years down the line. I'm really excited about the series. And that's all I read this week. So, Mike, where can people find you on those internets?
You can find me at Fortress Ricker on Twitter. Where can they find you under the show?
They can find me at Fortress Chris on social media. Just pick one and I'm there. And you can find me also at chrisrunt.com. That's CHRISRUNDT.com. You can find the show at fortresscomicnews.com. That's where everything is in one big place, everything together. Remember, everybody, you're listening to us to leave us a 5-star review. Don't leave 4 stars. Don't be a dick. Just leave 5.
Just leave 5. Don't. Or just review us at all.
And if you're watching us, remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below. Also, share with some friends because sharing is caring. And if you want to do the extra mile, there's a Patreon at patreon.com/ForgeComicNews. So yeah, thanks everybody for listening, and we will see you all 2 weeks from now?
2 weeks from now.
You'll see both of us 2 weeks from now. You might see me next week.